Welcome to Cypress Community Baseball on Sportsnet, USA.net. I'm the old guy with Ed Ford and Albert Robles, and this is a fight for first place. Albert, when you look at Cypress, they came out of nowhere, and now they're a half game out of first place. A big win today can put them to the top. When you look at it, they'll take the first two teams in each conference. They will make the playoffs, and then they go to RPI for all the wild card teams. So Cypress doesn't want to make it because of RPI. They want to be one of those top two teams in the OEC to make the playoffs.
Absolutely. Regardless of what RPI does for you as a team based off your schedule, you always still want to be that team that makes it on your record because that speaks more on its merit alone.
Yeah, when you look at this Cypress team, well, especially at this windy stadium, we could end up seeing a lot of balls flying out here today, Albert Robles, because when the wind's going like this, we see an average of 4 home runs a game out at this stadium every time you and I are out here?
Oh yeah, when the wind is flowing in this park, the ball is known to carry. Right now, it's got a really steady, not even breeze, it's really more of a gust right now, blowing from right to left. It's pretty much straight across the field. I mean, like if you're a right-handed hitter going up against a lefty, pretty much you'll have a pretty good shot going to the left alley against that, deep left wall there. Other than that, I expect some balls to pretty much die as of right now.
So we'll see what's happening. I'll let Albert Robles call the play-by-play at the start of the game. Him and I'll switch off and on today's game here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
So on the mound right now for Cypress is going to be Trey Seeley, number 32, the right-hander. And leading off for Orange Coast is going to be number 4, Gomez. Number 11, Alec Gomez, playing the 4 spot at second here today.
We'll see the traditional Cypress defense. Tostado behind the plate, Carliner at first, Hakopian over at second, Rosales at short, and Leifer at third. White in left, Hanako in center, and Toigo in right.
Little grounder to third baseline, and Leifer missed it. Normally Leifer, golden with his glove, just bobbles it, goes right in the glove, pops right on out. And Mark, that should be an error for our third baseman out of Cypress.
Yeah, and that's what we're going to give him. We're going to give him an error. There's no do-overs or muffs in baseball, so that's an E5 to start this game.
So leadoff runner gets on for Orange Coast. And up next here is Cameron Mahaffey, the DH for Orange Coast, who drops a bunt down the third baseline and does roll foul. So Seeley with a quick first strike to Mahaffey. And Mahaffey pretty much had a good idea of trying to get on base for a bunt and hit. Gomez looks like he's got some speed over at first, and if you look at the legs on Mahaffey, who can also play center field, he's got speed as well. Pop fly carries off the first baseline and out of play.
Mahaffey, a sophomore, batting .333, on-base percentage .495, slugging percentage .543. Strikes out quite a few times, 23 strikeouts to 17 walks this season.
And he's down 0-2 right now to Seeley, so Trey has a good chance to actually put a number strikeout in that column. Next pitch is high and tight, way above the letters, 1-2 to Mahaffey.
Like we said, it seems like everybody is in the fight for the OEC.
Next pitch fouled back. Count the same, 1-2.
Orange Coast College, 14-15 overall, 4-9 in conference right now. Team batting average of .309. On-base percentage just a little under 400 for this Pirate baseball team.
And that ball skips away from Tostado.
And that goes down as a pass ball on the catcher.
Yeah, absolutely. Tostado honestly should have picked that up. He was right in front of it, blocked it well, and just skipped right away from his glove. Almost trapped it, but didn't. And that allows Gomez to advance over to second. 2-2 now to Mahaffey.
Wind is whipping today. A little warm, but it's blowing out there too.
Yeah, the breeze is a nice addition for the Heat today. That one fouled off. So Mahaffey battling here. Only the second batter to come up here today for Orange Coast. Gomez with a conservative lead off of second. Seeley checks him. Way high, almost right at the head. Mahaffey works it full. Gomez leads off on second. Mahaffey at the plate. And the right fielder, Arboleda, on deck. Caught the corner, and Mahaffey strikes out looking.
Mahaffey thought he had a free pass on that one, and turns around and goes, "Not today, young man." So
Slightly delayed call, but the ump brings him up. So one down here, the top of the first. One runner on second, and here comes Kerry Arboleda. First pitch taken for a ball.
Arboleda batting .376. 20 walks, 17 strikeouts, 35 RBIs for this Pirate team. So we'll see if he can get number 36 in today.
Next pitch is high as well.
He's got 8 doubles, 1 triple, 5 home runs for this Pirate team.
So Arboleda ahead in the count, 2-0. And it seems that Seeley very much knows those statistics and is looking to pitch around him a little bit. That ball just catches the outside corner for the first strike. 2-1 to Arboleda.
Not only does he drive in runs, but he scores runs also for this Pirate team. He's got 41 runs this season. So a good, well-rounded offensive player for Orange Coast College.
And that's really the type of player that you want in the 3-hole. Popped up. Calling for it is Rosales. And he rings it in. So after going down in the count to Arboleda, Seeley does get him to pop out for the second out. And up next is going to be Isaiah Morales, first baseman for Orange Coast. First pitch in the dirt, but blocked by Tostado.
Isaiah batting .367. He's got 20 RBIs this season. Also somebody that's got a home run. 3 triples, 8 doubles. So you look at his slugging percentage of .556 and you know why.
Second pitch taking for a strike, and wind is kind of dying down a little bit. Still blowing consistently, but not as hard as it was. And he's got a nice little alley to the right of Toigo there. And a nice little left-handed, right-handed pitcher matchup in his favor. That ball's high above the letters, 2-1.
Gave him a little brushback music on that one.
Three and 1 to Morales. Gomez still leads off on second. As It's going to be fouled back, so count is full now to the first baseman.
Noah Carliner plays a deep first base for the Cypress team. He's on the skin of the infield and outfield. Not to be outdone by Eddie over at second, who's on the outfield skin.
Yeah, both Carliner and Hakopian playing deep. Morales makes contact, and tracking it down is Ryan White. So that wind definitely played a factor there as that ball started to carry out in left field. But Ryan White for Cypress managing to bring it in, record the final out for the top of the first.
No runs, no hits, one error, and one left on base.
Pretty solid top of the first. Chargers able to make sure that that error doesn't come back to bite them, as well as that pass ball, as that could have proved costly, as that allowed, the leadoff hitter Gomez to not only get on first but also to second. So good defensive inning from the Chargers and a good pitch inning for Seeley. As we head to the bottom of the first, on the mound for Orange Coast, it's going to be Chase Russello. His battery mate is going to be number 12, Emilio Morales. At first, Isaiah Morales. Second base, Alec Gomez. At short, it's going to be number 13, Jordan Koo. And in the hot corner, number 27, Garrett Bavacqua. Out in left, it's going to be number 28, Alex Talamante. In center, 22, Logan Jackson. And in right field, the big bat, number 20, Kerry Arbolito.
Traditional first three we always see, Hakopian, Honacle, and Carliner. So second, center, and first base. Those are always the three every week, as this team now is chasing for the prize in the OEC. Cypress a half game out. Like we said, the first two in the conference make the playoffs.
So here is Eddie Hakopian. Honacle will, of course, be on deck, and Carliner in the hole. And Hakopian batting .451 this season so far, takes first strike. Second pitch just misses the zone, 1-1 to the leadoff hitter.
Eddie's got 18 RBIs so far this season, a couple home runs.
Golf swing at that one, comes up short, 1-2.
Scored 46 times, so he leads the team in runs scored. That's what you want from your leadoff hitter.
How many runs they said that he had?
He scored 46.
I have 23 runs and 46 hits. Looking at the right column there, Mark?
Could be.
And Hakopian pops that up, calling for it. And no, miscommunication there. So Alec Gomez was calling for it, and Arbolita came charging in, calling him off. And that ball just finds a hole, drops right in.
So we'll start off with an error for Orange Coast College.
Yeah, that was an easy pop-up, and honestly was, second baseman's ball all the way. And I don't care how good you are of an outfielder, if you have to charge all the way to where the dirt meets the grass, that's not your ball. So a bit of a duplicate scenario here in the bottom of the first for the top, as the leadoff hitter gets on first with an error.
Arboleda shallow in right field. Could be because of the wind.
So here's Luke Honicle, lefty on lefty. Checks his swing, but the umpire rules a foul tip, so that'll be a strike. 1-1 to the center fielder.
Well, if you talk to the Orange Coast coaches, he went around, which he did. He broke the strike zone.
Sala checks the runner. Pickoff attempt. Not in time. First baseman right on top of the call. Honicle makes contact, pops it up. Calling for it is Koo, and he records the out. So these big pop flies are looking to be some fairly significant plays most of the day, the way this wind plays. It's definitely going to get into the players' minds because, like, well, they'll have to, one, battle the sun, and two, battle the wind. Carlin makes contact going down the left field line. Chasing is Bavakwa. Did it go out of play?
And made a catch. It's the out.
Bavakwa able to track it down and record the out. Actually, no, that was Koo that tracked it down. So Jordan Koo showing off the impressive range of the shortstop.
Who has a fielding percentage of .981 when he's over at shortstop.
So that pop-up is going to bring up the catcher, Mario Tostado. Runner on first, 2 out. Tostado popped up to right field, tracking it down as Arboleda, and he records the out to end the inning.
So the same thing as we had for Cypress. No runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 left on base as we head for the second. Well, we're not at all up at 0. It's Albert Robles 0. The old guy 0, Ed Ford is 0, Cypress and Orange Coast 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. You know, I was telling the coach for Cypress, I was saying, you know, I was looking at something the other day and I thought I'd start my own baseball team. So it started with nothing but guys that played high school baseball in California. So one of my first players I took was Barry Bonds. Then my next player that I took was Ted Williams because he played high school baseball in San Diego. Then I took Randy Johnson because I needed a good pitcher. He went to Walnut Creek in Northern California. Then I thought, well, you know what? I got to have 2 good pitchers. So then Tom Severs was my number 2. So it was Johnson and Severs, because Tom Severs went to high school in Fresno, California. So I got a couple pitchers, you know. And then I thought, well, you know what? I need somebody else in the outfield. I got Williams, I got Bonds. I guess I'll go with Joe DiMaggio. So that's my outfield that I got, because Joe DiMaggio, he ended up playing high school baseball in Martinez, California. So my first 5 are all from California. They all played high school here. So far, I'll let any other state take me on just with those first 5.
So leading off for the Pirates here in the top of the second, it's number 13 shortstop Jordan Koo. Takes first pitch for a strike. Koo hitting .333 this season. Little high, ball 1.
Sure, Corey Nayland's at home trying to find another state to take on my first 5 players from California high schools.
Well, if you need a shortstop, you could always go with Nomar.
I could.
Koo, chopper, Carliner takes it. And Seeley beats him to the bag for the first out, just barely.
Nice little 3-1 play.
Yeah, beat him by about 2 feet on that one. So that'll be scored 3-1. Logan Jackson up now, shows bunt, takes it away, so ball 1 to Jackson.
338 so far this season, 558 slugging percentage when you look at Jackson. 4 doubles, 2 triples, and 3 home runs this season.
Next pitch is high, 3-0 now. And looking up and down the Orange Coast, roster and their statistics here, a good portion of them hitting over 300 right now, which is impressive to see. Jackson takes that one right off the elbow. So hit by pitch, he'll get on base.
Oh, they're going to call it off the bat.
Wow. So apparently that caught the bottom of the bat, so that's going to be ruled foul.
Yeah, I could hear the umpire from here.
The irony is if he is able to pull away, would have been ball 4. So it'll be 3-1 to Logan Jackson. So Trey Seeley caught a little bit of a break. Brings the heat, and Jackson hits it up the middle right past Rosales. Stood no chance to bring that one in. So first hit for the Pirates. So here's number 27, the third baseman, Garrett Bavacqua. So it's Bavacqua at the plate. Emilio Morales on deck. And Talamonte in the hole. It's the 0-1 pitch. Fouled off, 0-2 to Bavacqua.
Hey boy, come on, 2-7. Come on, baby. Here we go, babe.
Jackson, nice little lead off of first. Jackson takes off, felt, well, it grounded down the first baseline. Carliner fields it, records the out at second.
No. He's in front of the base.
And they're going to call obstruction.
And in the baseline.
So the second base ump ruled that Jackson obstructed the play at second, preventing a play to be made at first. So head coach for the Pirates going to make his case.
In the baseline. Come on, Blue. In front of the base.
But the umps have already made their decision, so that does end the top of the first.
I can say anything I want. I have an opinion.
We get a little chippiness from the Pirate dugout, and the umpire's trying to cool some heads here.
No, what he's upset about is that the base, one of the coaches on the bench said his opinion besides the head coach. He objected, the umpire objected to two coaches saying anything to him, basically said to the bench coach, you don't have a right to have an opinion. Which, like the bench coach told him, I have the right to an opinion. You know, so a little quick trigger on a hot day by the umpire. And I don't know, I don't necessarily agree with the call either at second base. So
it definitely is a tough play altogether. But when the umpire's right there, they're in a more prime position to make the better call given the angle that they have.
But I mean, where did the obstruction come from? He slid directly into the bag. He wasn't going off after a player off the bag. He didn't go across the bag. And he didn't come a rise slide so that he interferes with the throw. So their question is, where is it?
That's something we'll probably try and get some clarification on later in the game.
Well, you can go ask the umpire. I'll start your car for you. And when you come out running, just, you know, let me know that I'll see you this Saturday when you run and he's chasing you.
So leading off for the Chargers here is going to be number 23, Brendan Harris, the DH for today. Swings through the first pitch for strike one. On deck is the left fielder, Ryan White, and in the hole, number 17, Dean Toigo. Harris fouls off the second pitch. Purcell gets the call. 0-2 pitch in the dirt. And that makes contact with Harris. So that's going to put the leadoff runner on for the Chargers here.
Let's go, Chase. Let's go, ball, Chase. Let's go, play. Ahmed. Go, Rose, we go. Go, ball, here we go. Ahmed, we're slow.
Ryan White makes contact, hits one out to deep left field. Jackson tracks it down. The wind is whipping and howling here today. It's going about right to left. Guaranteed, Mark, if the wind was blowing out to center like it had been in the past couple of games, that ball's clearing the fence.
Yeah, really, it's a right to left breeze right now.
So White makes a first out here in the bottom of the second. Harris on first after being hit by the pitch, and that brings up Dean Toigo. First pitch strike, here's the 0-1. Harris looked like he was about to take off, draws the attention of Russello. Goes for a pickoff attempt, but that does come up short. Swings through a high fastball, 0-2 to Toigo. Toigo batting .287. Harris taking a nice lead off of first, but leaning back towards first. Pretty much ready to run on contact, but not ready to run for second for a steal. Does not want to get picked off. Just outside and high, 1-2. Toigo makes contact. Big pop fly to right. And pretty much staying in place is Kerry Arbolito to record the second out. So the wind definitely caught that one and killed the ball right in its track, as Arbolito didn't have to do much of anything to make that one. Grounded sharply past the third base line. Bavacqua unable to come up with it. It's going to be a stand-up double for Rosales.
And Harris makes it all the way to third on that good running on Harris's point. So now both teams have one hit in this game so far.
Runners on first and second, 2 out. That brings up the third baseman, Cade Leifer. Chopper up the middle. Fielded by Koo. Not in time. He's safe. Play at the plate. And he is out. So Cade Leifer hit a grounder up the middle, fielded by Koo. So it's 6-1, but no out. Harris scores, and Rosales out at the plate. So Chargers do get on board here in the bottom of the second and take a 1-0 lead over the Orange Coast Pirates.
Some other games going on. A big one in the OEC. It'll be Fullerton against Santa Ana. That is in the bottom of the first, and Santa Ana has scored first. They're up 1-0 already in the first inning. Other games going on. Reedley takes on West Hills, Coalinga. West Valley against San Francisco. Those games just starting. Grossmont against San Diego Mesa. Game just starting. Irvine Valley. Big game against Saddleback. No score in that one. Porterville and Merced. No score in their game. Mount Sac takes on East Los Angeles. They're in the top of the first. Golden West against Riverside, the bottom of the first. So, runs are a commodity so far in community college baseball here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
Seeley beginning his third inning of work here as he gets ahead 0-1 to Emilio Rosales. On deck, number 28, Alex Telemonte. And then we go to the top of the order. Next pitch is a ball, 1-1 to Morales. High in the zone, 2-1. Finds the zone there. Count is even, 2-2. That ball way inside. Tostado couldn't bring it in. Count worked full. And wind is blowing straight in from right field now. You can definitely see that we've got some different angles of winds. That one's fell down, like grounded down the third baseline, fielded by Leifer. Records the out at first.
Let's go, Tally. Come back, Tally.
You know, like you said earlier, Mark, runs probably going to be at a premium today, especially with the way the weather is acting here in Southern California. Wind definitely playing a factor here at this field. For all we know, it's the same at the other parks, especially if Mount Sac is playing East LA. They're probably facing some similar conditions.
Yeah, everybody's probably dealing with the wind today. And I'm just amazed, Albert, how deep the infield is for Cypress. I mean, I know the infield's hard. We're seeing kangaroo hops. But, you know, you really got to say, wait a minute, you're what? Everybody's on the outfield grass except for Leifer over at third and Carolina at first.
Telemonte fouls that one back 2-1. And the outfields are pretty much
Shallow?
at middle depth, very shallow. For Togo and right, you know, it makes the most sense, as anything hit his way is pretty much going to die as soon as it hits the wind.
Yeah, if we get this win Saturday when Cypress takes on Palomar, it should be an interesting game in softball here on SportsNetUSA.net.
3-1 to Telemonte. Just misses the outside corner. So Telemonte works the count, gets on base, and works the walk.
So with everybody playing so deep, I mean, this is where you really, if you're a hitter, you have to learn to hone your skills at bunting a baseball. I know I'm going to chime about that constantly in a game because we get to watch the women who are so adept to bunt a ball in softball.
So top of the order here for the Pirates. Number 11, Alec Gomez playing second. Mahaffey on deck.
Leifer, standard position at third. Rosales in a few steps over at short. Copian shading towards the bag.
That ball just high, 2-0 to Gomez.
And then Carolina over at first. We're going to get a little conversation going on out here. So maybe not only is the ball moving a little strange, but maybe home plate is sliding back and forth in this wind. Don't forget this coming Saturday, doubleheader softball. It is a game that if you can make it out here, you want to watch. It's going to be Brad's team, Cypress, taking on Palomar. I looked at Palomar's information of the day, and if Ed Ford had his headsets on, Ed, I got to tell you, I looked at a Palomar softball team and just my breath was taken. I know Ed and Corey looked at me when I was talking about Lisa down at San Diego Canyon, made a mistake on the ERA, but I looked at the first two pitchers for Palomar. Oh my goodness. I mean, not only is number one good, number two's better, and then this is a team where you go through 1 through 8. Everybody's batting over 340. It's incredible. What a softball team down there.
2-0 to Gomez in the dirt, 3-0. So Gomez definitely in a hitter's count. Reached on an error back in the first. Inside catches the corner, 3-1. Fouled back, 3-2. full count to Gomez as Talamonte dances eagerly off of first. Pickoff attempt, not in time. And wouldn't matter as Carliner had dropped the ball anyway.
So we'll see if the Pirates start the runner over at first base. A little motion in this wind probably wouldn't hurt right about now.
Little quick pitch of a pickoff attempt. Trying to catch Talamonte off guard. Talamonte goes and the payoff pitch is fouled back.
So I see the coaching staff of the Pirates were listening to the old guy back here saying, well, you know, he feels like he could run in the wind. We might as well start a youngster in the wind. They watched my athletic skills today here for sports@usa.net.
Fouled back again. Talamonte takes off again. And another pitch fouled back. So Gomez battling at the plate. Trying to make the most of a possible hit and run. See if Talamonte is off to the races again. There he goes, takes off. Drill to deep right. Tracking it down is Toiga, records he out. We'll see if they can double him off at first. No, not in time. So Gomez looked to have got the pitch he wanted. And I'm guessing that was a double play. It looks like they got the out at first. Because next thing I know, the Cypress Chargers are running off the field.
And we hear the fans saying, let's get a little instant replay, and then they'll figure out. But doesn't matter. No runs, one hit, no errors. Nobody left on base as we head to the bottom of three. Well, it's Cypress 1. The Pirates nothing here on sportsnet.usa.net. We talked about this coming weekend. I tell you what, Palomar going up against Cypress, and RPI is going to be incredibly strange. I tell you, this is the year of the pitcher in softball. Ed Ford corrected me last night about ERAs, and we always talk about our local colleges not getting anybody, Ed Ford. Well, the pitcher at Imperial Valley, who's having a phenomenal season, had conversations with a college over in Orange County that we know as Cal State University Fullerton. She's got a connection over to that team right now, and so she had her first conversation. So we'll see if finally one of our local colleges gets a star quality pitcher from community college softball that can make him take that next step on the NCAA level. Don't forget, those games Saturday start at 12 here on sportsnetusa.net, followed by game number 2. And whoever walks out of Cypress on Saturday with a double dipper, well, their RPI is going to soar and get them ready for the playoffs here on sportsnetusa.net.
So here in the bottom of the third, it's the top of the order for the Chargers. So here's number 10, Eddie Hakopian. Reached on an error back in the first inning. Shows bunt, takes it back, 2-0.
That sort of looked like a waltz step, didn't it? I mean, it was dip, dip, out and in. 1, 2, cha-cha.
Grounded down third baseline, foul.
Come on. Good pitch.
How hard is that dirt in front of home plate? I mean, it's just incredible. Pound it into the ground and watch it bounce.
Grounded down third baseline again. Just foul. Looked good for a minute, and then just eked past the third base side. 2-2 to Hakopian. And Hakopian goes down looking as Russello finds the outside corner for strike 3.
So I'm disappointed we're behind a fence. Ed Ford got to watch my defensive skills over at Cerritos College a week ago. He got to see why I used to play the hot corner when I played the game.
You're good.
First pitch to Honacle is high, 1-0.
My game now is the mildly warm corner. Westfield should have been at least knocked down or caught by the catcher. A high fastball out of the strike zone. That allows Carliner to get to third. And with the conditions right now, Albert, I mean, you're up 1-0. If you could sneak him in for some reason, the way this game is going and the way the outfield is saying, where's the wind coming from? 2 runs would look like, you know what, a deluxe meal at a top 5 restaurant in any place in California.
Absolutely, and that was a great sharp single for Carliner, to left field. And honestly, while a great-looking play for Talamonte, deep hit to left field, off the wall, that's going to find the hole. And Tostado with a stand-up double brings in Carliner. It's like I said, Mark, this wind, the outfielders don't know where it's coming. And, as we say that, the wind had basically died down for that hit. And immediately after the play, the wind starts whipping back up again.
Well, and if you're an outfielder, too, because you saw in that play, Logan Jackson stopped for a second trying to figure out where the ball was going to be at. Doesn't make what would be his normal jump on a ball into the alley in center field.
Pretty much anything hit to the outfield is going to be less than routine today with the way the wind is, howling and whipping around today.
Yeah, because, I mean, you break and then the ball goes straight. You come in and the ball carries.
Tostado leads off on second. Here brings Harris. He hits one deep to left. Tracking it down is Talamonte. He has it right in front of the warning track to record the out and end the inning.
So 1 run and a couple of hits, no errors, but really a pass ball that allows them to get there. And now Cypress up 2-0 over Orange Coast College. I'm going to go back and got my high school team here that I'm building from former players that played here in California. I had a great time doing this. California high schoolers that I picked to be on my team. And we started off with, I'm going to go back to my first 5. Got Barry Bonds, Ted Williams, Randy Johnson, Tom Seaver, Duke Snyder. Then I go with Mark McGuire, who played from Pomona, California. Then, because I love my teams, I'm going to go to Harry Hillman. And when you talk about Harry Hillman out of San Francisco, one of the old guys that played way back, I tell you what, batted .342, an on-base percentage of .410, and a slugging percentage of .520. I could take Chase Utley next, but you know what? I'm going to take Gary Carter, who we can all think of, who played Culver City High School baseball. So I got that, and then Corey Nalen. My next player on my team is for Corey Nalen. I'm going to take Tony Gwynn, who played high school ball up in Los Angeles. So that's it. I got Tony Quinn. I might as well take Jason Giambi coming off the bench. He played in West Covina. So, guys, those are 9 players I got on my team so far. Tell you what, if you're listening at home, you can get a better California team than I've got. Those were all people that played high school ball here in California. I don't think anybody can play against me right now.
So Seeley, first pitch is a ball here in the top of the fourth here. Leading off for the Pirates is Mahaffey, DHing today. Fouls that one back, 1-1.
Can you imagine if I could make believe they all went to community college? Bring it on.
If you want to take another pitcher, I mean, you know, look no further than someone who, you know, is forever emboldened here in the left field wall, Trevor Hoffman.
You know.
Here you go, Cam. Sit up, baby. Let's go. Focus in on that. Let's go. There you go, baby. See it now, man.
1-2 to Mahaffey. Checks his swing and holds up. 2-2.
Corey Neal and Ed Ford, we're going to have to do that with softball players that played here in California. Create our own high school softball teams from California.
Mission impossible right there.
Oh, we'd have some great teams. We'd have some great teams.
Here you go. All the way, baby. Win it here.
There's definitely no doubt about that, but like what I mean is like it's how do you decide?
Well, I just go through the record book and take the first 25.
Sharp grounder line towards Cade Leifer. Records the out. So super rocket hard hit of a ball from Mahaffey right into the glove of Leifer. So one away for Orange Coast as Arboleda singles up the middle just past Rosales. So Arboleda gets on base, first pitch swinging. That brings up Isaiah Morales. Shows bunt, pulls it back.
Morales flew out to left his first time up in the first inning.
The 1-0 pitch to the big lefty. Just finds his own, 1-1. Arboleda leads off of first. Seeley checks him, keeping a steady eye. Popped up. Leifer calls it off, records the out. So we had a line out to Leifer, a single to left center, and a pop-up to Leifer. So here's Jordan Koo, grounder up the middle. Rosales stays in front of it, records the out at second, unassisted. So quick, top of the fourth. And a great defensive inning for the Chargers.
Well, Corey Nealon, I hope you're writing down all these names because I want you to pick your high school team that I've got playing. I ended up, my last player on my high school team was Tony Gwynn. Then I took Jason Giambi just because I need somebody to sit on the bench for a while and complain to me about not playing. Then I'm going to take a local boy. Fullerton, California. That's right. Jim Edmonds now comes on my team, so I take that local Fullerton High School player to add to my team on here. You know, and then Keith Hernandez. Well, I got to take somebody from Northern California. The first man that ever played with a batting glove in baseball was Keith Hernandez. That's how batting gloves got started out of San Francisco when he played. And then I'll go local. It's right over there at Garden Grove. Alan Trammell can come be on my team too. Boy, I'm getting pretty loaded. And then you know what? Just because I love you, I'm going to go back up to Los Angeles, and maybe I'll have Eddie Murray play in my team. He can play maybe first base for me, or I'll let him run every once in a while. And then you know what? I got Barry on the team out of Riverside, California, so I might as well take Barry's dad, Bobby, and put him on my team too. So I got Barry Bonds, Bobby Bonds, Tony Gwynn, Keith Hernandez, all my high school players. Well, I tell you what, that's my high school team so far from California here on Sportsnet, USA.net. I think, you know what? I think I win CIF at least, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, all right. Just want to make sure.
Go, Booze. Come on now.
Boy, I'd be a heck of a high school coach with that team, wouldn't I? Would I get any credit?
I'm now, Booze.
So Rosello's still on the mound here in the bottom of the fourth.
Come on, man.
First pitch is a ball to the left fielder, Ryan White, leading off for Cypress. On deck, Dean Toigo in the hole, Rosales.
Come on, Chase.
Second pitch is high, way out of the zone. But Morales able to actually keep a glove on it that time, 2-0. Just off the plate, 3-0 now.
Go, Booze. I'm now 3-0.
Onside on line.
And White
Strike two.
works the walk. So with that walk, that'll bring up Dean Twigo.
Get a ground ball here. Your defense works. Right there.
Twigo flight out to right in his first at bat.
Let's go, Booze. Ground ball.
So he takes strike one. Makes contact, hits that towards left center, tracking it down is Talamonte.
Good. Ground ball away here.
It's a quick first out here. That will bring up the shortstop, Edgar Rosales.
Had a double his first time up.
Come on, 3-0. Fresh, Chase.
White, decent lead off of first. 1-0 to Rosales.
Come on, 3-0.
Inside, finds the corner, 1-1. Salo has a sign, delivers off the plate,
Come on, Chase.
2-1.
Take care of the baseball. To the bottom of the barrel.
On now.
Claus makes contact, hits that up the middle, and lands for a single in front of Logan Jackson. we got runners on first and second, 1 out here. That brings up Cade Leifer.
And again, because of the wind, you're playing deep. You don't know what you're going to do. So what do you have to do? You have to hesitate like Logan Jackson does and then plays it safely so the ball doesn't get by him.
Leifer singled in his first at-bat. Swings through the first pitch for strike 1.
Two runs, 5 hits for Cypress in this game.
Makes contact with that one, but deep fly ball popped up, records the out is Isaiah Morales.
Infield fly rule was called on that over at first base. That rule that was created to take away deception.
So 2 on, 2 out. Cypress leading by 2, brings up the leadoff hitter, Eddie Hakopian. Takes first pitch for strike. Grounder goes foul.
And here's the difficult thing on a windy day like today, the umpire over first calls the infield fly rule. A day that you could easily lose that ball and it could drop right there in no man's land and you, the hitter, are out on the play.
Another sharp grounder goes foul.
So when I saw his hand go up, I thought, oh, please, catch the ball.
And for a day like this, you know, you have to be kind of thankful that you're playing baseball because, you know, if that was like a punt return, oh, sure, you can probably catch a fair catch. You still got to catch it, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Grounder up the middle, taking it is Gomez, records the out at first. So 2 hits for the Chargers, no runs. And at the end of 4, it's Cypress 2, Orange Coast nothing.
Go back and look at the scoreboard in the CCCAA and see what's going on with any of the games around the area. Of course, a lot of the games have not been updated. Especially we'll go and see if we can find that Fullerton game. Nope, no updates so far. So I guess the wind is affecting the scoring for the CCCAA. It's affected us today. It's affected everybody. Let's hope it doesn't affect us on Saturday when we're out here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Little softball this coming Saturday on Sportsnet, USA.net. Palomar takes on Cypress. That's right, 2 of the top teams in California, the best teams in Southern California. Well, there could be a variety of them. I sort of like what Ventura's got, 3 deep in the circle. You've got to like Palomar, 2 deep in the circle with what they can do. Santiago Canyon leads in runs scored, batting average, RBIs, but they got a ERA of 2.76. That's going to work against them when you look at the ERAs that are out there. Santa Ana team ERA right now, 0.95 on sports@usa.net.
So right now, Ed Ford just showed me the score between Santa Ana and Fullerton. Right now, Santa Ana is up 4-0. 4-2. The 2 on. Santa Ana is up over Fullerton 4-0 with 2 on in the bottom of the second.
Big game.
Meanwhile here, Seeley Throws a ball on the third pitch, so 2-1 to Logan Jackson. So we've got Jackson, Bavacqua, and Morales. So Jackson fouls that one back, 2-2.
Logan Jackson called out for an interference at second base his first time up.
Pretty much the most controversial call so far of the game.
He had gotten on with a base hit, then on a double play ball from Carliner to short, so it would have been a 3-6, then back to first. And they basically said, and you and I still are trying to figure out where the interference was over at second base.
Not sure we'll ever actually know what the rule was. Payoff pitch, grounder, up to third. Leifer stays with it and throws it wild. Taking off for second is Jackson. He will get there sliding. So Logan Jackson finally gets to second base today.
And so the official scorekeeper gives 2 errors, 1 error on that play.
Yeah, the error would definitely be on the throw from Leifer.
4-4-3. 4-4-3.
And it's actually going to be the second error for Leifer, because he recorded the first error in the top of the first. Drilled up the middle to right center. Rounding first is Bavacqua. He holds up. Throw it to the plate, not in time. So Orange Coast gets on the board by a single from Garrett Bavacqua.
And it's 2-1 game.
And only the third hit of the game for Orange Coast, and it pays off for him. And you can go ahead and charge an unearned run there to Trey Seeley, who, for all things considered, has actually been pitching a fairly great game today. Bavacqua leads off of first. First pitch to Morales, shows bunt, takes a ball.
1-3-0.
So Emilio Morales at the plate. On deck is Talamonte. Morales shows bunt, sticks with it, but knocks it foul, 1-1. Pickoff attempt, not in time.
2-0-2.
So 1 on, no outs here for the Pirates. Another attempt at first, not in time. Seeley doing his best there to keep Bavacqua honest. Bavacqua takes off, and that throw goes wild up the middle. Nobody at second to take the throw.
So that's just, and they're sending him back.
Looks like the umpire is ruling the pitch foul. or maybe negating the pitch altogether, because I haven't seen an update on the scoreboard yet for another strike.
No, he struck out.
The count was 1-1. How do you strike out?
I'm going to have to see if we can find out from the coach what the call.
My guess is it's probably hitter's interference.
Well, that's right. That's why the runner would go back.
Come on, Tally, come on.
So that's going to bring up Talamonte. As Bavacqua still leads off of first. Next pitch is low, 2-0. So we got.
Go ahead, Albert. I have a question for you in a second.
So we got Toigo in right,
Come on, Tally.
playing medium depth. Maybe a few feet to his right, hit up right center, finds the hole. Bavacqua rounds third. He will score. And Talamonte ties the game with a stand-up double.
Do it ourselves. It's the Pirates, baby. Love it, Bev. Looking quick, Bev. Speed kills, baby.
Now, Mark, we've got a brand new ball game here. So top of the order here for the Pirates. Here's Alec Gomez
Come on, baby, Allie.
looking to do some more damage here for the Pirates.
Come on, baby, Allie. Great lead. Leave it in the dirt.
1-0 to Gomez.
So here's my question for you. If I watch Mario Tostado, who's behind the plate, how far can I reach into the hitting zone if I'm getting an interference call as a catcher? Watch him here.
He's playing a dangerous game.
You know, I'm going to have to look up the rule on that and see what it is, because I don't know what the rule that is, how much a catcher can reach into a hitting zone. If they called interference, batter interference.
So 1-1 here to Gomez, who stands pretty far back in the actual box.
But he's in the box.
But he's in the box.
Here you go, Allie. Come, baby. Come now, kid. Here you go.
He's, I would say, maybe like half a foot away from being towards the very back of the box. Hovers well over the plate inside. As he takes 3-1.
So 2 runs here in the 5th inning for the Pirates.
Here you go. Come on, baby, Allie. Let's go, 1-1.
We do have some action in the bullpen for Cypress.
Ball on the field, so we get timeout.
Come, Gomez. Here you go, baby. Get your head. Here you go.
Just finds the corner.
Here you go. Go, 1.
So full count to Alec Gomez.
Here you go, Bally. Come, baby. Here you go. Make it tough again. Here you go, kid. On now. On now. Come, baby, Bally. Come, baby, 1-1. Go, 1-1. Go.
Pop up.
Good job.
Out of play.
Got 1 right now. 1-1. Here you go. Yeah, he has quality at bats a lot. He does this pretty often. Come, baby, 1-1. Here you go, 1 on Al. Here you go, Leo. Let's go, Allie. What is that, 1? Go, man. Yeah!
Drilled up the middle. That's for a single. Rounding third, but holding up is Talamonte. So runners on the corners now. It's still only one out. And that brings up Cameron Mahaffey.
0-0-3.
3 big hits now for the Pirates, and we'll see if we get a change on the mound here on SportsNetUSA.hit.
And so Trey Seeley's day is done. We're going to have a pitching change here for the Cypress Chargers.
So we look at Jackson getting on with an error. Babakwa gets a hit. Morales, catcher interference, the first out of the inning. Talamontes gets a hit. And now Gomez gets a hit.
So Pirates starting to heat up just like the weather here today in Southern California. On the mound now for Cypress is number 4, Sebastian Diaz.
And Cameron Mahaffey, next batter up.
Mahaffey 0 for 2 today, struck out in the first and lined out to third in the previous inning.
So Jackson on with an error. Babakwa gets a base hit. Morales, if you're scoring at home with us, interference. Talamontes gets a double, and then Gomez comes up with a hit. So that's 3 hits in this inning for Orange Coast College. Corey Nealon, I've already started picking my softball team. I got 2 players already. I got Michelle Granger in the circle. And I guess I'll just take Lauren Chamberlain as my number 2 right now. And then I'm going to go up to Magic Mountain area, Valencia High School. And you already know who I'm going to pick up out there. Of course, I know most of these players are, what, is this, wait a minute. Tennessee players, a Cal player, yeah, but they were California players. So I got a couple of my softball players already here on SportsNetUSA.net.
So Mahaffey at the plate now for a new pitcher. Double steal attempt. Snap throw to third in time. Down goes Talamonte for the second out. Was a fake attempt for a double steal. Talamonte holds up at third, but advancing over to second was Gomez.
Nice snap throw by Tostado behind the plate.
An excellent awareness to know that you're not going to get the runner at second. But Talamonte came way too far off the bag, and that pitch clips Mahaffey. So he'll be hit by the pitch. So 2 on again, but 2 out now here in the top of the 5th.
Mental mistake that doesn't go in the scorebook.
So Chargers 1 out away from escaping a possible big inning here for the Pirates. And that brings up the big right-handed hitter in right field, Arboleda. First pitch in the dirt.
baby. Here you go. Go our ball.
And the wind has died down a little bit here. It's been prominent all game. One 0 pitch. Inside, strike one. Runners on first and second, 2 out still. High pitch, snap throw, gets away from Carliner. It goes way down the field. Rounding third is Gomez. He's going to score. Chargers will now trail 3-2 in this game. Mental mistakes.
Well, you feel good. You make that throw at third base, you get somebody coming down, and all of a sudden you're feeling cocky behind home plate. Said I made a great throw to third. Watch this throw to first.
Mahaffey was well drifting off of first. He had him hung up to dry, but the throw was offline, and Carliner was also not prepared for that throw at all. So now Mahaffey, he advances to third on the wild throw, which is another error. So that's going to be the first error on Tostado, third error of the game. And Arboleda is still at the plate. 3-1 is the count. That ball's low and in the dirt for ball 4. So runners on the corners yet again for the Pirates. They lead 3-2, 2 out here in the top of the 5th.
So we'll see if the Pirates, who have been aggressive, start the runner at first with 2 outs.
So here is Isaiah Morales. High, ball 1. And it's also very unfortunate for Diaz as well, who's actually, pitching quite well. Coming up here in relief is just his defense and his battery mate kind of letting him down a little bit. Low but finds his own, strike 1.
Come on, babe, 2-3. Get after it. Come on, lad. Let's go, lad. You got him. Take one. Come on, babe. On, lad. Watch out. Here we go. That boy, well done. To the box. Let's go. Take it.
5-1-3. 1-2-3.
So actually looks like we had a pinch hitter that I completely missed. So instead of Morales, this is actually 23 Jake Lappin coming in now. So he's in the hole 1 and 2. Drills one deep to center. Staying with it is Honickel for a fly out. So despite the error and the hit by pitch and the run, Diaz does manage to escape the inning.
3 runs on 3 hits, 2 errors, 1 left on base as we head to bottom of the 5. Well, it's the Pirates 3, the Chargers 2 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Albert Robles, Ed Ford, bringing you the action along with the old guy here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Looking at my different pads going, well, Corey Nalen, he's working on his softball team. L.A. Pierce, Allen Hancock sitting there at 0. Bakersfield Citrus is 0. Skyline, 0. Diablo Valley, no score yet. Bottom of the 5th, Santa Rosa, Sacramento City, no score yet. Ed Ford's getting the information. I think I'm being denied here on SportsNetUSA.net. Saddleback, 1-0 over Irvine Valley at the Great Park. Here on SportsNetUSA.net. Santa Ana 5. Fullerton nothing at the end of 3. So Cypress trailing. Fullerton trailing. All here on SportsNetUSA.net. Albert Robles, Ed Ford. We'll be back Saturday on SportsNetUSA.net. A little softball. Palomar. You look at their RPI, they're at top. Cypress, you look at their RPI, they're on top. They go head to head this coming Saturday. 12 noon's the first game, and then we'll follow up whenever for that second game. Both games on SportsNetUSA.net. Corey Nalen, Ed Ford, Albert Robles, and the old guy bringing all these games to you on SportsNetUSA.net.
And here in the bottom of the 5th, we do have a few defensive changes for the Pirates. So with Jake Lappin pinch hitting for Isaiah Morales, he will stay in the game and take over for Morales at first base. And we have a new pitcher on the mound for the Pirates as well. This is number 19, Jared Casabier. And I'm just going to assume that's how you pronounce his name. So leading off is Luke Honicle. Grounds into first. And Lappin will take it himself unassisted. Just entered the game and already records an out for himself. So with Honicle grounding out, that will bring up the first baseman, Carliner. Takes high, ball 1. So Carliner at the plate, Tostado on deck. The 1-0 pitch. Drilled down left. Will it stay fair? In play. So it stays fair and goes over the fence, ground roll double. Actually, no, it's gone. I just saw a point, not the little swirly indication. So Carliner ties the game with a big shot down the left field line and hits it out of the park. So now we have Mario Tostado facing the newly entered pitcher, Jared Casabier.
And we're all tied at 3.
And Carliner definitely didn't need the wind on that one.
Good try, good try.
Rushback pitch, 3-0. See if Tostado has the green light here. Takes for ball 4. So after the quick out from Honicle, Carliner hits one over the fence. to tie the game, and Tostado works the walk. So we got 1 out and 1 on for Brendan Harris. That ball's gonna go wild. Tostado will advance to second. Morales couldn't even get a glove onto that one. So 1 out, Tostado in scoring position. And Harris looking for something to drill. He gets it, hits it to deep right center. Staying with it is Arboleda, records the out. Tagging up is going to be Tostado, and he will make it cleanly to third. So 2 out now for Cypress. That's going to bring up Ryan White. White 0 for 1 so far today. Flew out and worked a walk.
Top of the ball out front, downhill.
High off the plate. And checks his swing, so 2-0. And Casimir seems like he doesn't want any piece of Ryan White at all. So 3-0. We'll see if he has to take sign or not. Takes high, ball 4. So runners on the corners for Cypress. It's going to bring up Dean Toigo.
Going to have a conversation on the mound, and maybe we're going to change pitcher. Of course, we've been talking about softball all day here on SportsNetUSA.net. So we take a quick look around softball. Diablo Valley, no score against Solano. Loney against Chabot, no score on that game. Ventura, Ed Ford, once again, 9-0 over Allen Hancock. 9 runs, 12 hits, 1 hitter for Allen Hancock against Ventura today. Santa Ana, they keep the rolling going. 9-0 over Pasadena City College. A 1-hitter for Santa Ana. So they continue the beat on ERA. Santiago Canyon over Cypress, which is a home game right now. Cypress trailing Santiago Canyon 1-0 in the bottom of the 4th here on SportsNetUSA.net. Bakersfield just starting their game against Canyons. They're up 1-0. Antelope Valley over LA Valley 1-0. Cerritos game not started yet. Mount Sac against East LA, no score yet in that game. Rio Hondo takes on San Jacinto later today, and Reedley takes on Taft. So some of the local softball scores. Santiago Canyon 1-0 over Brad Pickler's team right across the way. That would be a huge victory for Santiago Canyon if they can hold on. We're sitting there at, I think they're number 2 in the OEC right now, right? Are they sitting at number 2? Santiago Canyon's at number 2? No. Number 3 in the OEC. So that gives you the updates in baseball and softball here on SportsNetUSA.net. Albert Robles, Ed Ford, Corey Nayland coming this weekend on SportsNetUSA.net.
Definitely a lot of action going along here today in Southern California in baseball and softball. In this one here, we're all tied up 3-3 here in the bottom of the 5th, and we do have another new pitcher here for the Orange Coast Pirates. It's number 17, Matt Maloney. Maloney comes in with an ERA of 2.25 through 12 appearances so far in 12 innings pitched.
Well, it's not an ERA of 2.25. It's an ERA of 2.25.
2.25.
I mean,
I always forget the point.
I was going to say, that's a lot of runs, baby.
Definitely
225
is.
ERA. Woo! Albert's just saying, you know what? It's like Bitcoins. I'm just going to bring up his value.
The point's implied.
Yeah, the points, well, we hope.
We got runners on the corner in this one, first and third. Runner takes off to second, and he'll make it with no throw. So Ryan White credited with a steal. So runners on second and third. Toygo at the plate. Ahead 1-0. Fouls that one off.
It's been a good game so far. Three runs, 5 hits, 1 error for Orange Coast. 3 runs, 6 hits, 3 errors for Cypress College.
Maloney doing his best Craig Kimbrell impersonation. 1-1 in the dirt. Two and one. Toygo drills it off his foot, and you feel the pain on that one.
Nice turnout from the fans from OCC over here today, taking the ride up to Cypress. Probably a little cooler down in their area than it is here right now. But they came out to follow these student athletes, and let us not forget these are student athletes that are on the field today. I don't know, I got a chuckle from a coach. I don't know if he heard me say student athletes, and that's why he's laughing. So you know, guys, we need to talk after the game. That's all I can say. I've never been around the Prop J chairman when he talks about student athletes, have they?
This count is even 2-2. 2 on, 2 out. Popped up. Staying with it is Bavakwa. Records the out to end the inning. So after 5, we're tied 3-3.
Make sure you stick with us the rest of the year here on Sportsnet USA. I don't know, you know, I'm wondering if my student athlete was a smile from the coaches. They just both turned around and gave the old guy a grin like, student athletes?
He's like,
what's wrong with you saying student athletes?
Like, these guys are students?
They are. They are student athletes. You know, we do a lot of different sports here on Sportsnet USA.net. Not only Cypress softball, but Cerritos College. Been out there with Cody this year. And I tell you what, you look at the Long Beach Vikings, you look at Ventura, you look at Mount Sac. When you look at the Vikings, you got to look at Mount Sac, Cerritos College, and those Long Beach Vikings. All 3 of those teams should be mixing the playoffs here on Sportsnet USA.net. Mount Sac sitting at number 1 right now with Cody and her team in pursuit. And, of course, then we look at Long Beach Vikings have turned their season around, and they're right there at number 3, all here on Sportsnet, USA.net. You know, the thing that's nice, at least I know the coaches are listening to me, Albert. You know, that's the one thing. It's always nice that I can bring a little joy to everybody here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
Probably the only body listening to us right now.
Nah. People to my right are listening to us too. So, you know, love having the parents out following these young men and the young women across the street. We'll have parents out with them. Santiago Canyon taking on Cypress College here on SportsNetUSA.net. Ed Ford, Albert Robles, the old guy. And then coming this weekend, well, another old guy, Corey Nayland on SportsNetUSA.net.
So Diaz still on the mound here for the Chargers in the top of the 6th. Leading off is number 13, Jordan Koo, the shortstop. Takes the first pitch high, but at the letters for strike 1.
Impressed with Orange Coast for staying with the game.
So it'll be Koo, Jackson, and Bavacqua. Next pitch is a strike, 0-2.
Go, Jock. Come on, kid. 1-3. Hey, all you big dog. On that good. Do something cool here. Do something cool.
In the dirt. So 1-2 to Koo. Drilled up the middle. Rosales had no chance. So a clean single for Jordan Koo will bring up Logan Jackson. Jackson shows bunt.
Looks back over to the dugout. We'll see if they come back with another bunt attempt.
Koo leads off a first. He does show bunt, rolls foul.
Nice play by Cade Leifer over at third base for Cypress, waiting for the ball, not going and charging it, taking it in fair territory, making a rush play, lets it go foul.
So yeah, smart to charge, but also to let the play develop a little bit. So 1-1 to Jackson. Koo leads off a first. Singled up the middle. Pickoff attempt not in time. Next pitch is high, 2-1. Jackson makes contact. Deep to right center, but staying with it is Honicle. Records the out. So good contact, but not enough.
So we look at that defense for Cypress. Carliner at first, Hakopian at second, Rosales at short, Leifer at third, White in left, Honicle in center, and Toigo in center and right field.
So that ball skips away from Tostado. So Koo will advance over to second. Actually, no, so that was a hit by pitch, actually. As that does graze Bavacqua. So first and second with one out now. And that brings up Emilio Morales. Swings through that one, unable to hold it. 0-1 to Morales.
So OCC in this game love to come up with the big upset here. We'll see if it's hit to the outfield, if we're running from second base and trying to score.
Outside. 1-1.
Albert's talked about where the outfielders have been in this game, Albert. It's a little unusual to watch where everybody's lining up today because of the wind.
Yeah, Toigo and Honicle very shallow, as well as Ryan White in left. Pretty much middle depth. It's like they're just counting on the wind to just kill any fly ball in their direction. Which so far has been the case, except for ones that just happen to find the gap in the alley.
And one big home run.
So Diaz hits the batter, and that'll load the bases.
Did you like what Morales did? I mean, he never made really any attempt. He sort of turned into the pitch, gets grazed on the arm, and loads the bases. I mean, I'm sitting there sort of thinking, okay, Ump, you know, did he deke you on this one, Ump? Come on, man.
So that will bring up Alex Telemonte. We're going to have a meeting on the mound now. There was a pitcher warming up in the bullpen for Cypress, or maybe they're about to warm up a pitcher. From what I can see, that's number 16, Ryan Brown, in the bullpen.
So they got a coach walking down there, so I think they're right on Albert's page. Okay, Ed Ford, I've seen it in softball. Now I need the counterpart in baseball to make me happy today. Squeeze play. Where'd my managers go? Drop that butt. Squeeze play. I don't think they're going to listen to me. They listen to the student-athlete statement. Come on. Brad Pickler gave me 7 months in a row in a game.
We're there for you. Let's go, kid.
So Diaz in a little bit of trouble here. There's only one out and the bases loaded for Alex Telemonte. Deep fly ball, but popped up high. Taking it is Honicle. Tagging is the runner at third. That was Koo. He will score. So the throw was offline, but Diaz was smart in backing up Tostado. So 4-3 now, 2 outs and 2 on. Top of the order now for the OC Pirates. And that will be Alec Gomez. Pickoff attempt, not in time. Ball goes loose.
And can I go back to the last play? Because I got to ask you. I know center fielder owns the outfield, but the ball is hit the left center. You're taking a strange body angle on it. You've got your left fielder right there, Ryan White, ready to take it, throw straight home. Honickel takes it, has to throw across his body, and has no play at the plate. Indecision. Left fielder should have taken that ball.
Yeah, that actually surprised me as well because Ryan White had that all the way. He didn't have to range as much as Honickel did, and that definitely that put White at the better angle for the throw. Not just across the body, but just in terms of momentum, he had the better play position.
And we know that the center fielder is the captain of the outfield. If they call you off, you're supposed to let them take the ball. But every once in a while, you know, excuse me, let me get out of your way, is the better play.
High and inside, 2-1.
So the Pirates climb back on top here in the 6th inning.
Runners on first and second. 2 out, 2-1 the count. Diaz would love a ground ball to get out of this inning. And he grounds one into the dirt himself, and that is going to advance the runners.
And since that wasn't close, we're going to call that a wild pitch.
Tostado is excellent at the backstop, but can only do so much. So we've got Bavacqua at third. And Morales at second. And a ball 4 issued to Gomez. And that is going to bring up Cameron Mahaffey.
Struck out in the first, line a shot, the leafer in the 4th, and they got hit by a pitch in the 5th.
Ball 1. So Mahaffey can play center, but DHing today. Grounder up the middle. Rosales takes a short out to second. Stays on the bag, records the out.
But not before the Pirates get one more run in and take the lead over Orange Coast College. As we head to the bottom of the 6th, Orange Coast College is up by 1. It's Orange Coast College 4, Cypress 3 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Albert Robles, Ed Ford bringing the game to you today on Sportsnet, USA.net. We'll be back on Saturday right across the road. 85, maybe 90 next Saturday on SportsNetUSA.net. Well, that's not how long we'll be on the air. That might be the temperature as we do a doubleheader. Palomar against Cypress. Brad Pickler, 9-time state champion in softball, taking on Palomar, our perennial power in their conference every year. And this year, well, they've got the ladies in the circle to prove the pudding on that. Plus, when you look 1 through 8, they're all hitting over 300. So not only can they throw up an ERA that's close to 1, but they've got a slugging percentage as a team. I think when I saw it last night was .548 as a team. So I tell you what, a powerhouse in Palomar. This coming Saturday, doubleheader against Cypress on Sportsnet, USA.net. Albert, you look at the way this game's going. Inconsistency. I mean, you keep waiting for one of these teams just to run away with the game.
I would say that there's a little consistently inconsistent because of how wishy-washy this game has been. Like 1 minute they're playing great, clean baseball on both defensive ends. Next thing we know, it's super uneven. And we get a small scoring update. So Santa Ana is now up 7-0 in the top of the fourth over Fullerton. And back in this one here, it's Edgar Rosales leading off. Matt Maloney still on the mound for the Pirates. Little brush back pitch evens up the count, 1-1. So it's Rosales, Leifer, and Hakopian. That just grazes Rosales, so he'll be hit by the pitch. And the Chargers have their leadoff runner on base. Pickoff attempt high, not in time. First pitch inside, ball one. Maloney not forgetting about Rosales over at first. 1-0. Off the hands is fisted into right field and into the glove of Arboleda. So on a little excuse me swing, Leifer puts it in play, and he will make the first out. It's going to bring up Eddie Hakopian for the Chargers. And after him will be Luke Honicle. So 1 on, 1 out. Finds the zone, 0-2. Inside, ball one.
Good work, one side.
So Maloney doesn't like the ball. He'll get a new one.
Come on, man, Matt. Let's go, Murdy.
High, 2-1.
Maybe shouldn't have liked that ball either. Same spot.
Come on, Maddie. Find it. Right here. Come on, Maddie. Right here, Maddie. Defense work. Come on,
Grounder right past shortstop.
Hey, give me another ground ball.
So Copian gets on base. So runners on first and second for Luke Honicle. Waiting in the wings is Noah Carliner.
Come on, babe, Moody. Let's go, Matt.
In the dirt, blocked.
Come on, babe, Matt.
Rosales on second. Hakopian on first.
Nice serve. Good spot on that, boy.
Taken for a strike.
Good up, baby. Compete.
Come on, Matt. Hey, get him right now.
Fouled out of play.
Win it, baby. Let's go.
Come on, babe, Matt.
The 1-2 pitch to Honicle. Flare to left field. Staying with it is Talamonte. Keeps the runners from advancing.
Come on, Maddie, get your last.
Well, Carliner, his last time up, muscled one out of left field. Something we haven't seen today. The wind didn't play with it. It just ripped through the wind.
You know, really the exception to the rule here today so far. With a big cut like that, he was looking to do the same.
Yeah, that was one of those. Did it once, watch me do it. Oh, okay. Maybe next week.
And the dirt gets away. Runners will advance. Second and third now.
So the runner's moving a wild pitch. Ball in the dirt, scoots away from the catcher. Morales couldn't do anything with it. Cypress trying to tie it up one more time.
Swings through that one, 1-2.
A little late on it. I mean, he's taking the big looping swing. Maybe he's got to shorten that swing a little. Just get the base hit. To get the base hit, game's tied. Maybe you take the lead.
A single should score Hakopian from second.
Come on, Matt. Right now. Put him away.
Makes contact with that one, going deep down left field
Let's go, 1 step.
and out of play.
Compete, baby.
Get out, Maddie. Come on, babe, Matt.
Second and third, 2 out, 1-2 to Carliner. just off the plate, 2-2. The Pirates were all eager for Carolina to get rung up looking, but they don't get the call. The 2-2. Swung and missed. Strike 3. Down goes Carliner. So after 6, Orange Coast College leads Cypress 4-3. Top of the 7th coming up.
Yeah, and when we look at all the scores we have talked about today here on SportsNetUSA.net, especially in baseball, Saddleback coming into the game today was 9-4 in conference, 22-8 overall. Followed by Riverside, 8-5 in conference, 19-10 overall. Cypress then was next, 8-5, 16-13 overall. Santa Ana, 7-6, 22-7-1. This is why we've talked about the Fullerton game. Fullerton, 7-6, 19-13. Golden West College, 6-7, 18-12 overall. Orange Coast, 4-9. 14-15, so they're trying to get to 500 today if they can overall. And then Irvine Valley, 3-10, 14-16. Realize right now the first 2 teams in, and I don't know how the tiebreaker works, so I'm just going to assume it's going to be Saddleback and Riverside. If we were to end today, they get into the playoffs, and then it goes to RPI. So Cypress, if they can win and Riverside loses, they go into the playoffs. If Santa Ana wins and Cypress loses, they get a little closer, and Fullerton now is looking for maybe that RPI scenario. So when you look at each one of these games in the OEC, each one becomes more and more important as the season renders down.
So for softball, Santiago Canyon facing Cypress, they win 1-0.
Lisa comes away. That ERA is dropping. This was my team, my dark horse team I picked last night. We'll see if Lisa can do that out of Santiago Canyon. Ed Ford, you look at that team, they've got runs. They're like 35 runs ahead of everybody else in the OEC. Hits, they're like 29 hits. And walks, they've got 100 walks this season already in the OEC. Offensively, they're a juggernaut in the OEC. We'll see if they can find some pitching they did today against Brad Pickler's team.
Back in this one, Diaz still working on the mound for Cypress. Gets another strike to get ahead of Arboleda, 1-2.
Just makes those games against Palomar even more important because of RPI.
That finds the zone, so Arboleda goes down looking.
Now batting, number 23, Jake Lappin.
So here's Jake Lappin. Took over for Morales. Shows bunt, but pulls it back. One and one. Diaz unable to find the zone. Ball 2. And a big hitter's count for Lappin now. He takes for strike 2, so Lappin works to count full.
So we get catcher's interference.
And the dugout quick on that one.
And Albert, it's interesting because we talked about how far can you go out there with Morales. Basically, we talked about him when he was catching an Al Tostado in his catching. How far can you sneak out there as a catcher to get into that batting zone?
Yeah, playing very, very close. Fisted up the middle, staying with it is Rosales, bobbles it, and unable to make the throw in time.
6.
And that was a tailor-made play there for Rosales. Normally he makes those easily.
Error number 4 for Cypress today.
And, you know, like, even though there was probably no time for the double play, it felt like he still had time to go for the quick out at second. He absolutely did, but for some reason still tried to go out for first. Because rule of thumb is, if you can't make the double play, go for the lead runner, if you can.
So 4 huge errors today for your Cypress Chargers.
The first 2 of them were very costly. We'll see if Cypress can get away with this one. So Lappin on second. And Koo on first. The 2-0 to Jackson. Is out of the zone, 3-0. So Diaz in danger of loading the bases again.
See if somebody starts warming up again for Cypress down the bullpen.
So 3-1 to Jackson. Swings right through that one. Full count. So it'll be Jackson, Bavacqua, and Emilio Morales. Ball 4, and the bases are juiced for Garrett Bavacqua.
Nobody visiting the mound. A little surprising here.
And nobody in the pen either. The only buddy there is just a little catcher. Just hanging out by himself. Garrett swings through the first pitch, strike 1. So we got 1 out and the bases loaded here. Pirates looking to break this game wide open. Ball 1.
Bavacqua with a big single in the 5th. Got hit with a pitch in the 6th. It seems like he's up almost every inning now.
Popped up and way out of play.
So you watch Bavacqua up there, hands close to his body, up on his belt buckle just before the pitch, left-handed hitter. Then he'll drop him back with a slight hitch. Got around on that one.
Fouled off, 1-2 the count still.
Nice little move by Carliner. He goes in his normal defensive position, lets the runner roll out, dives in behind him, and then gets a pickoff move. Couldn't get the runner.
Luckily, he was able to stay on track in the ball, because if that ball gets away from Carliner, just a dangerous situation. High outside, 2-2.
4-3. 4 runs, 6 hits for the Pirates. 3 runs, 7 hits for the Chargers. Here in the 7th inning.
The 2-2 pitch. And Bavakwa goes down swinging. That pitch was way in the dirt.
Yeah, just a little over anxious to get a base hit on that one.
Yeah,
Wasn't being selective, Albert.
Yeah, Bavakwa was looking for a hit and not looking to get on base.
Yeah.
So Emilio Morales now. First pitch inside gets away from Tostado, but not far enough for the runners to advance. 1-0.
Right down Broadway.
Nice strike from Diaz. Jake Lappin leading off on third. Jordan Koo at second. And Jackson still at first. Fouled off, 1-2.
Wind picking up a little, Albert.
Yeah, wind picking up again. 1-2, 2 out, bases loaded. Popped up. Tostado tracking it down. No out of play.
So I'm standing there and all of a sudden I feel the breeze. I look out of the flag in right field. It's rippling. Interesting. Look at left, Albert. Look at the flags in left field. There is no movement on those flags in left field.
Yeah, those flags absolutely dead, but the flags in right
are dancing
around, and they're going pretty much right to left. So pretty much wind's actually blowing in. So wind's going from in straight to the third baseline. Snap throw, not in time.
Nice snag by Carliner, who's going down when he gets the first, happens to get his glove on the ball. If he does not, score 2 for the Pirates.
Yeah, out-recorded or not, amazing athletic play from Carliner. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Number 1-2 at the plate, bases loaded. And a sharp hit is wrangled in by Rosales, ranging way to his right. taking away a surefire single. And an excellent, excellent play for the Chargers to escape what could have been a door-busting inning for Orange Coast.
Isn't this where, being an infamous broadcaster, one of us get handed the PA and we sing, "Take me out to the ball game"? Isn't that supposed to happen? Wasn't that on the schedule here?
It is if you play in the major leagues.
Oh, okay, all right. Because I was going to say, you know, I haven't been exercising my voice today, so I didn't want to be off key or anything.
So that's definitely happening in a few games today, as it is officially baseball season. Today is opening day.
It's opening day. It's starting today. The Angels are at home today. Are your Dodgers at home or on the road?
They are on the road in Colorado starting tomorrow. Walker Buehler getting the first opening day start in his career.
So we'll see what happens. Angels playing tonight. I know a couple people that are going to that game. You happy it's back?
Absolutely. So happy.
Is that your main sport that you watch?
It is.
Baseball?
It is. So in the bottom of the sixth here between Santa Ana and Fullerton, Santa Ana shutting out Fullerton 10-0.
So that means Santa Ana will move up 2 games, 1 game on Fullerton. And if Cypress loses this game, they crawl into Cypress's back pocket at 3rd place. Scott Pickler trots over to 3rd base. Of course, when you think of Scott, 5 state championships, 91, 94, 97, 203, and 213. Of course, doesn't do as well as his brother Brad, who's got 9 state championships.
So leading off here in the bottom of the 7th is going to be Tostado. On deck is Harris, and in the hole is Ryan White. Matt Maloney continuing to work out there for Orange Coast. Matt Maloney gets ahead with a first pitch strike. Drill towards left field. That's going to find the gap. And Tostado will have an easy stand-up double. Talavante saw it all the way, but he was nowhere near where that ball was landing. Had to play it off the fence.
So now you think, do you hit that, drop that sacrifice, try to get the runner to 3rd with 1 out, then an out can tie this game?
That would entirely depend on the batting skills of Harris. That pitch gets away. Actually, it grazes Harris.
So runner's got to go back to 2nd.
Yeah, that is a dead ball. So very quickly here, the first 2 hitters are on base for Cypress.
2nd batter hit for Cypress.
Oscar.
As is through 2.
At least 2 hit for the Pirates.
Yeah, same thing. Both teams with 2 hit batters.
So here's Ryan White with 2 on, runners on 1st and 2nd. He shows bunt, fouls it back. Couldn't drop it down, couldn't pull it away.
Again, square yourself up, catch the ball with the bat, drop it in front of the plate, make the catcher make a decision. Most likely, because you're charging from 3rd, he'll go to 1st.
Shows bunt, doesn't take it away. 0-2 to White. We'll see if the Chargers even dare to try and drop down a bunt on an 0-2 count.
Here we go, Matt.
Low, ball one.
I mean, I find it amazing. A bunt can't get laid. Of course, you talked about your Dodgers. Bobblehead night coming up with the best bunter ever for your Los Angeles Dodgers, Maury Wills, who had 141 sacrifices in his career as a Dodger.
White grounds that one towards second. And Gomez records the out at first. So 4-3 for the out. Runners advance to second and third.
Good as a bunt.
So that will bring up Dean Twigo.
All you want to do is a smooth swing. You don't have to hit the ball hard. You just, if you're going to lift it in the outfield, deep enough for a runner to tag at third.
A single should absolutely score them both. A fly ball guaranteed ties the game.
So Lappin in at first, Gomez at second, Koo at short, Babakwa in at third. Infield is in for the Pirates.
Drill towards Gomez. Play is going to be made at home, and Tostado hung up.
Nice play by Gomez. Didn't overreact, Albert. Then for a second I thought, you're holding the ball too long. Then he throws it home, and then you look at what home plate does. You look at Emilio Morales. He does the proper thing. He runs the runner back to third base because there's a runner already there. Tag one, you get that lead runner.
You know, that ball was grounded right towards Gomez, and he took that little brief second. I could see him just like where everything kind of slows down. He looks right at Tostado, and Tostado makes eye contact right with Gomez. Like, oh, maybe I should stop running. So he immediately stops in his tracks, and that's what gets him hung up. Like, if you're going to run on a play like that, you have to commit.
Yeah, go home.
Like, don't give him any more time to make that play easier than what it was.
Yeah, go home, see if they can make the play.
You have to force a more accurate throw and a good defensive move by the opposing catcher.
Yeah.
Let them make the play.
Yeah, realize it's not a force play at home. It's a tag play at home.
So runners on second and third with two out. Here's Rosales.
And I've actually seen catchers make that mistake. Somebody throws home, they step on the plate, throw to first, and then the umpire looks at him and goes, no, 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 no. Wasn't a force play.
With a game like this, as far as tight and contentious as it is, you have to be able to make those types of plays. Force them to make the plays. For all you know, you might get lucky. You might catch them off guard. They might make a mental error. So Rosales fouls that one back, 1-2. Rosales makes contact, pops it up. Tracking back is Koo, staying with it, and he records the out to end the inning. So after 7, Orange Coast College leads Cypress 4-3.
Well, this has been a fun game here on SportsNetUSA.net. We've got more fun games around the corner. A little softball around the corner on SportsNetUSA.net. That's right, Cypress softball this weekend. And then following week, well, we head out and watch Cerritos Falcons. Cody and her team will be on SportsNetUSA.net. Falcon softball has been exemplary this season. She's got a young lady that can deal in the circle, excellent defense for her team, and of course they've had timely hitting, the three qualities for softball that you have to need to be a winning softball program. And of course when you look at Cody herself, 2 state championships over at Cerritos College, professional career in softball, and a true Hall of Famer and an educator there at Cerritos College on SportsNetUSA.net. We've done a couple Long Beach Viking games on SportsNetUSA.net, seen a little Mount Sac softball on SportsNetUSA.net. We have yet to be disappointed with any softball games, all here on SportsNetUSA.net. Ed Ford, Albert Robles, Corey Nayland, and the old guy going along for the ride, all here on SportsNetUSA.net.
So coming back to this one here, as we head into the top of the 8th, Sebastian Diaz's day is done. We got a new pitcher coming in for Cypress. It's going to be number 16, Ryan Brown. Brown comes in today with an ERA of 4, the record of 2-0 through 10 appearances.
Get one more warm-up pitch, and then we'll start the top of the 8th. With the Pirates up, 4 runs, 6 hits, 1 error. For the Pirates, 3 runs, 8 hits, 4 ginormous errors for Cypress College here on SportsNetUSA.net.
And despite those errors, Cypress still in this game, only trailing Orange Coast by 1. But they are running out of time. So leading off here in the top of the 8th is Telemonte. So it'll be Telemonte, Gomez, and Mahaffey. First pitch taken low, ball 1.
Go, Telly! Come on, 2-8! Come on now! Come on, Alex! Come on, Telly! Right here, be a dog here, be a dog! Come on now! Good lead, not you! I'm now 2-8. Right here, be a dog here, do something cool with it. Let's go, Telly!
2-0 to Telemonte.
Go, Telly! Come on, 2-8! Let's go, Telly! I'm now, baby! Put a bat on the ball right here. Let's go, Tilly. Not you.
Off the plate, 3-0.
Way to use those eyes. Come on, Tilly. I'm now make a pitch. Let's go, Tilly.
So Telemonte takes 4 straight balls and works the walk.
Yeah, you do.
Brown with an ERA of 4 coming into this game. Going to get a pinch runner. Tyler Weaver now goes over to first base. So Weaver enters a pinch runner. So Weaver over at first.
I'm ones. Let's go, Sticks. Let's go 1-1. Come on, Alex. Let's go, Alex. Let's go, Gomes. Come on now, ones. Let's go, Alex. Come on now, Alex. Let's go, Gomes. Be hitting right here. Let's over here.
Shows bunt. goes foul. 0-1 to Gomez.
Come on, go.
I would take all my hitters, take them over to my softball coach, and make them spend an entire week with my softball coach learning how to bunt.
Should duct tape their hands to the bat. Show them the proper position and angle. Shows bunt, pulls it back. 1-1. Pickoff throw, not in time.
Great call. Go. On there, once. Let's go once. Go, Mark. Go.
Another attempt looked like the throw had beaten it, but the runner is safe. Gomez. 1-1 to Gomez. Shows bunt, unable to pull it back. Strike 2.
Let it eat right here. Let it eat, boy. I'm not gone. Do something cool. I like that. Go, Mark. I like that. Go. I'm not once. Let's go, Gomez.
Weaver leads off of first.
Let's go. I'm not once.
Pinch ran for Talamonte.
Do a job.
Pickoff throw not in time. So Brown trying to keep Weaver honest and not forget about him.
Go, Alex. Let it come, AG.
Another pickoff. Close, but not in time.
Hey, he really likes you. Let's go once. Let's go, man. Win the AB, big dog. Go, man. Go. Good.
Low ball 2.
Little dust in the eye behind the plate. Home plate umpire be kind enough to make sure that you can see as a catcher. That fastball comes at you and you can't see anything. That's a tough one.
2-2 to Gomez. Weaver on first. In the dirt, ball 3. So Gomez has worked the count full.
Here we go once. I'm AG. I'm not one. I'm not Gomez. All you ones right here be tough.
And Gomez unable to make contact and swings through strike 3.
One out. Let's go.
So Brown strikes out Gomez to record the first out. and that will bring up Cameron Mahaffey.
Let's go, Mahaf. Come on, Abe. Let's go, Ocho.
And this game had seemed to be moving right along very speedily, and it seems to just really come to a screeching halt right now.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody's been more concerned. You look at OCC trying to hang on, and Cypress trying to play that, where can we get one run to tie this game up?
Home, baby! Home, baby! Home, baby! Home, baby! Your job.
Mahaffey shows bunt. So close. Perfectly executed bunt, but just rolls foul. Mahaffey will take his sweet time getting back to the plate.
5-3-0. Do it big for the one-time camera.
So Weaver still on first, 0-1 to Mahaffey. We'll see if the bunt is still on. My guess is no, as he had to double check the sign when he got the call. Ball in the dirt, but skips away in front of Tostado. Wasting no time is Weaver, who immediately skirts over to second.
Yeah, and that takes the double play out of play right now. So even if you ground it out, the runner may make it to third, but you're not going to have a double play attempt for Cypress to make it an easy inning.
And for what it seemed to be a factor all game, this wind has died out just like the pace of play. Low, 2-1.
Let's go, Abe. Ball play right here, baby.
Brown gets his sign and comes to set. Big pop fly out to right center. Toigo gets the out, tagging up is Weaver, and he'll make it safely. And they catch, Weaver catches Cypress napping. They had double checked to see if he had left early at second base, and as he was doing that, Weaver just takes off running, saying, well, if you're gonna do that, I know I'm safe. I'm just gonna go.
And a big run here in the 8th inning, so.
So they're going to double check and see if time was ever called. I don't believe it was, because if you're still trying to see if there's a possible play at second, you're still in the middle of an active play.
Well, you can call for time, but it has to be recognized. So I can, you can argue, hey, my player held up his hands for time. I don't care. I never called it, so.
So Weaver came into the game as a pinch runner for Talamonte, advances to second on a wild pitch, tags up to third on a fly out, And as they were trying to double check and see whether or not he left early on the tag, catches Cypress napping and steals home.
Big second run here in the 8th inning.
So Orange Coast now leads 5-3. And you said earlier in the game, Mark, runs are going to be at a premium today. This is a fairly average scoring game so far. And, for all we know, like those 2 runs could be the dagger that the Pirates need to send the Chargers home.
Yeah. And again, because of look at who is winning and losing today and how the playoffs work for baseball, you could have Santa Ana moving up, Cypress moving down, Fullerton dropping out of the picture as an automatic qualifier.
So another pitch gets away, 1-1 to Arboleda. In the dirt, ball 3. So Brown having some trouble finding the zone again. Pirates looking to do more damage. Cypress looking to get out of the inning.
On time, catch it out front.
And a big 2-run out when you think of it.
Huge 2-run out. So 3-1 to Arboleda. He's got the power. Just gets under it. Big pop-up. Toigo calls it and takes it in.
Let's go, boys.
So Orange Coast adds another run by the quick, skilled, and heads-up running of none other than Weaver, Tyler Weaver.
So it's 5-3 in favor of Orange Coast. Well, Corey Nalen, I put my high school baseball team together. I'm slowly getting my softball team together. I think I found my number 2 pitcher on my team, Corey Nalen, that I'm going to go with. You might remember her. I know Ed Ford was. She played for the Monarchs in Northern California. Her name was Kalani Ricketts, and as a senior at Mini, Rickett gave up 2 earned runs, 347 strikeouts, with an ERA of 0.10. Oh, by the way, she only batted .456. So now I've got Lauren Chamberlain, Michelle Granger, and Kalani Ricketts are now my first 3 softball players. I already gave you my baseball team. Tell you what, I'll take those first 2 pitchers. I'm not even worried about your offense on softball because between the 2 of them, if you score a run, it would be because you played 10 games against us and it was all make-believe. So more softball this weekend on SportsNetUSA.net. Palomar, Cypress, Ed Ford, Albert Robles, and the questionable ERA individual, Corey Nalen, on SportsNetUSA.net.
We do have another scoring update from Santa Ana over Fullerton. Final score, Santa Ana 11, Fullerton College, nothing.
Wow. Big loss for the Hornets. So Santa Ana pulls a game ahead of them as Cypress can't come back.
And in another scoring update, Saddleback leads 5-1 in the bottom of the 5th.
Over.
Oh, the score is final, 5-1, Saddleback over Irvine Valley.
Let's go, Matt. Look at ahead, kid. Come on, 2 more, 1-7.
So we have a pinch hitter here. It says Nick Bascaro. That pitch is taken outside, 1-1.
Matt Maloney for OCC trying to close everything out for the Pirates.
So big pop up. Bavakwa sees it, takes it, and records the first out.
Matt Maloney, an ERA of 2.25 when you look at him this season. So you can see why he's in there right now. This is the closer for OCC. Let's see if he can shut the door for 2 innings against Cypress College.
So Mascaro had pinch it for Leafer, so his day will be done. Mascaro will likely take over third base duties in the top of the 9th. Here is Eddie Hakopian. Maloney gets ahead of Hakopian, 0-1. Grounder up the middle. Koo stays with it. And Hakopian, no! First base calls him out. I think Hakopian beat it.
Yeah, it was a close play. And he's out at first base.
Rolled out looking at the replay. It was a close one. But that throw just beat the quick speed of Hakopian. So now the Chargers have 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the 8th. And they are slowly running out of time. Honickel drills one to center for a space hit. So a great swing and base hit from Luke Honickel as he singles to center. That's going to bring up the first baseman, Noah Carliner.
9 hits for Cypress in this game.
Carliner looks at ball 1 on the outside corner.
It is a warm, quiet Thursday afternoon here in Cypress. See if the warmth and the lack of wind helps the ball fly better here at Cypress College.
Warm is not the term I would use, as it is an absolute scorcher out here.
Well, some of us find it pleasant. You know, when you live in this sort of weather, 364 days out of the year, this may feel like a vacation.
So 2-0 to Carliner, who scorched one over the left field wall earlier, looking to do the same again. Follows that one back, 2-1.
Reaches for that.
Three and 1 to Carliner.
Hitter's pitch.
Let's go, Matt. Come on, baby. Nothing free, baby. Make him earn it. Make him
Home
work
bay,
for it.
Matt. Home bay, Murdy.
Come
Let's
on,
go,
1-7.
Matt. you're good enough to do it, baby. Come back right here. Runner!
Runner fakes going. And Carliner swings right through that for strike 2. Full count to the big first baseman. Looks like they were going for a hit and run there, as Honickel was off running, but quickly comes to a screeching halt.
Let's go, Matt. One more, baby. Come on, get us out of here. Come on, 1 second.
Honickel off running, but doesn't matter as Carliner goes down swinging. After 8, Orange Coast Pirates 5, Cypress Chargers 3. We go to the top of the 9th.
So we get ready for more sports next week. We're going to be out at Cerritos College next week. Little softball on Sportsnet USA.net. Ed Ford, Albert Robles, and I'll be out there. Before this week's over, though, we'll do some softball here on Sportsnet USA.net and talk about that ugly word, RPI, which is being used in baseball this year. I talked to both coaches about it. And, you know, I guess I'm Ed Ford. I guess I'm the guy that's just out of touch with everybody else because they look at me, they sort of like RPIs. You look at the poll for baseball, Ohlone is 1, Santa Ana is 2, Folsom is 3, Saddleback is 4. This was as of March 29th. Glendale was 5, San Joaquin Delta 6, Palomar 7, Pasadena 8, Mount Sac was 9. That was as of the 29th of March. And of course the poll before that was the 21st. So it's very askew. When you look at the numbers today and the teams, the poll for baseball has not been upgraded. As we head to the 9th, Cypress trailing by 2 here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
Get us one. You started, huh?
So right now it's all Brown for Cypress on the mound, as Jake Lappin comes up to bat. First pitch close, but outside, ball 1. Ball 2. So it'll be Lappin, Koo, and Jackson.
Go get it, 2-3.
Brown finds the zone, 2-1.
Come on, baby, Lap. Go, Lap.
Just inside, ball 3.
Let's go, Lap. Let's go, Lap. I'm now. Let's go, 2-3. Come on, Lap.
Fouled off and out of play, 3-2.
Just a little ahead of that one. Nice level swing. Nice line drive, the result. Just got out in front, pulled it.
Come on, baby, Lap. Go, Lap. Battle here. Come on, babe.
Just inside, ball 4. So Lappin works the leadoff walk. That'll bring up Jordan Koo.
Now batting, number 13, Jordan Koo.
5-1-2. I'm Jock. I'm now Jock. What's up, Koo? I'm Jock.
Koo was on an error in the 7th, got a base hit in the 6th. Grounded out to short in the 4th.
Grounder just past Hakopian. So Koo singles up the right side gap.
Hello. Jack, keep it rolling. Low Jack, come
So it's his second hit of the day.
Jackson.
So that'll bring up Logan Jackson now.
Jackson walked in the 7th, flew to center in the 6th, got on an error in the 5th, and then had an interference play all the way back in the 2nd.
Go, Low Jack. Come on, babe, Low Jack. Go, Low Jack. Come on, babe.
Runners on first and second.
I'm now, brother. I'm now. Get Bevy up right now. Get Bevy up.
Way inside, ball 1.
So the thing that's interesting, the pitcher brings it home as Edgar Rosales is breaking from his shortstop position to second base. Looks at the pitcher and says, let's get our signal straight.
Come on, babe, 2-2.
Popped up out of play. No, stayed in play, but Tostado unable to make a move for it.
He lost it immediately when it came off the bat, so couldn't find it there.
Come on, babe, 2-2.
Let's go, Low Jack. I'm now 2.
Come on, babe, Low Jack.
The 1-2 pitch to Jackson.
Good lead, good lead.
Off the plate, 2-2.
And this is really where Cypress can't afford to give up any runs here in the 9th, trailing by 2.
What do you say, 2? Let's go, kid. Come on, Logan. Do it, kid. Do it. Hello, Jack. Hello. Go, Low.
And that catches the outside corner. And Logan Jackson is rung up looking. So a well-timed strikeout pitch. The coach for Cypress is going to come out. And looks like we will be getting a pitching change here for Cypress. So coming in is going to be number 8, Carson Frazier.
The Chargers. Number 8, Carson Frazier.
Carson Frazier coming in today has an ERA of 7.36 and a record of 2-0 through 9 appearances and 11 innings pitched.
Not a strikeout pitcher when you look at his numbers.
And his numbers aren't great, but they're not terrible either. 13 hits, 13 runs allowed, 9 of them earned, 10 walks and 8 strikeouts. So we got some scores here in the OEC. So Santa Ana defeats Fullerton 11-0. Saddleback over Irvine Valley 5-1. And Riverside currently leads Golden West 10-0 in the 9th.
So Saddleback will stay in first. Riverside should stay in second. Santa Ana should be tied for third if Cypress can't come back in this game. And Fullerton will stay down at fifth position, but they're dropping behind everybody. And Golden West, well, they're going to have to hope that their RPI gets them into the playoffs, because that'll make them 6-8 in conference this season.
So at the plate now for Orange Coast is number 27, Garrett Bavacqua. Still one out, runners on first and second. It's Lappin on second, Koo at first. Low. Skied up. Down the third base line, staying with it. There's Mascaro. Actually, a bit of a correction there. At third base is number 6, Jason Carrick. Nope, sorry, that's Orange Coast. Nathan Jackal. One to Morales, swing and a miss, strike 2. Swung to that, ball escapes. Unable to record the out at first. So you can credit Frazier with the strikeout, but you don't count the out because it could not complete the out with the throw at first. So with that, the bases are loaded again for the Pirates. We'll see if Cypress can escape another bases loaded situation yet again. It's the third time that they've had the bases loaded against them.
And no, first base was not occupied. That's why he could take off running on the swing and missed and dropped the ball for strike 3 because the runners were going. They now left their bases and were now occupying second and third. So for people that are saying, wait a minute, I thought there was somebody at first base. Well, no, there wasn't. That person left the bag on the wild pitch. It was unoccupied at the time. Therefore, the runner who struck out, the ball was not caught on, had an open base to go to.
This is Tyler Weaver. Has a good 3-0 count now. Fastball way outside, ball 4. So credit Weaver with a run batted in. And Orange Coast goes up by 3, 6-3. Want to know what I've always thought was funny, Mark? I've always been amused by the fact that if you get a bases loaded walk, that is an RBI, but it's not an at-bat. So it's just funny to me that you can have a run batted in, even though it's not even an at-bat, when you consider the verbiage of your statistics.
But it does count for on-base percentage.
But it still counts for on-base percentage.
So, I mean, so your on-base percentage goes up, your RBIs goes up. That's why I will always argue with Corey Nalen, on-base percentage is more important than average when they started keeping track of it. Corey, who disagreed with me the last softball game we did, will probably bring that up since I know he's watching this game here on Sportsnet USA Day. Actually, what he's probably doing now is putting his all-state softball team together.
So bases are still loaded, 2 out. Here's Alec Gomez. And Mark, with that run walked in, I think that just gave up the game here for Cypress.
Well, what it does allow Cypress to do is, at least the first 3 batters that come up you will have the potential tying run coming to the plate. If they give up another run, you can't assume you'll have 4 people up.
Drill down the right field line. Will that stay fair? No. Goes foul. And the wind has picked up again, which for the fans in attendance is a welcome feeling. Cool you down a little bit. But for the players, it's like, no, please God, no more wind. We don't want anything carrying over a fence or over our heads.
Well, you look at Toigo, he steps in. Tough play to make.
Rosales gets it, unable to make the throw in time. And it looked like there might have been some small miscommunication there.
Top it off, Cam. Here we go.
Because it looked to me like that was Nathan Jackal's ball all the way. But look at Rosales had called him off.
Yeah, and I'm not sure Jackal could have gotten it. He started over, he started to slow down. And I think the shortstop called for it because he knew he could feel the ball.
But with the extra time, I think that just cost you the out. Because a half a second is more than enough to travel like X amount of feet.
But when you think about it, strike 3, thrown in the dirt, couldn't block it, that gives him another one. Then you walk somebody, that gives him another one. It's like finding money on the ground.
Mahaffey swings through strike 2. 1 and 2, 2 out. Bases still loaded.
Maybe I should start doing that, right?
7-4 our score.
Looking for money on the ground?
It seems like Frazier has lost all command now. Big pop-up. Jackal calls for it and records the out.
But not before a couple more runs come in on some interesting pitching and a couple hits. At the end of 8.5, it's the Pirates 7. The Chargers 3 here on Sportsnet USA.net. Albert Robles, their back is against the wall. They're going to drop in the rankings. They get further away than closer to the automatic bid. And it's just Cypress has not been able to muster a lot of offense today.
Yeah, they were all up in the game, so to speak, until the up until the 7th inning. Because in the 8th inning, You know, OC, they come out, put a run on the board. That put them ahead 4-3, or 5-3. And then the top of the ninth, they put up another 2, so now it's 7-3. Cypress down by 4. It's only a few short innings ago that this game was a very manageable deficit. And Maloney still on the mound for the Pirates. Has been money ever since he came into the game.
Well, you look at his ERA. This is the guy. I mean, compared to everybody else's ERAs, this is the guy on the mound who's going to get you that 1 or 2 important outs for you. Bavacqua at third, Koo at short, Talamonte in left, Jackson in center, Arboleda in right. You got Gomez at second, and then over at first, Jake Lappin with Morales behind the plate. Only 1 error today for a combined group defensively for the Pirates, so they played solid baseball against Cypress College.
And that first error by Orange Coast was really an error that shouldn't have been one. It was a lot of miscommunication, and that ball just dropped in no man's land in front of Arboleda.
Yeah.
And he's more than made up for it the rest of the game since then. So here we are in the bottom of the ninth. Cypress down by 4, and Tostado up to bat.
And you just look at your pitcher out there right now, Maloney, and say, kid, throw strikes. If they get a hit, they get a hit. Throw strikes. Put it over the plate. Give them heat. If they can turn on you, hey, we understand. We're up by 4. Make them catches.
Yeah, 0 pressure on Maloney right now. Just has to make his pitches. Doesn't have to do a whole lot of thinking. Just focus on the hitter and go 1 by 1.
Ooh, that looks pretty.
Just misses. Excellent pitch by Maloney, but that finds the corner off the plate for ball 1. So it's Tostado up to bat, followed by Harris and then White. Ball 2. Fouled back. A little bit of good news, Mark. It's starting to cool down a little bit. It was 100 degrees, now 99.
There we go. Hey, things are looking up here on sportsnetusa.net.
Swing and a miss by Tostado.
And then they throw the ball into left field.
And for OC, you're thankful that, thank God, that was only the leadoff hitter. Nobody on base. So that'll bring up the DH, Brendan Harris. Foul tipped into the glove. Strike 1.
So it's now begun pitch and catch.
The 0-1. Strike 2.
A little extra body, loses his hat on that.
Maloney in a clear groove out on the mound now. A rogue pitch hits the umpire right off the forearm. Looks to be okay though.
That's nothing. Come on,
Try catching a softball bare hands.
That's right.
Then come talking to Mark Pavlovich.
That's right. If you couldn't get your hand out in front of an ump, you can't even talk to me. I would have probably snagged that one. throwing it back left-handed.
The 1-2. Swung on, strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Maloney. And the Chargers are down to their final out. Golf swing, strike 1.
Off speed. Nice little pitch.
Yeah, these Chargers haven't been able to do anything at all against Maloney today, and an excellent pitch selection like you said there, Mark. Going with the fastball and taking a little off with a changeup. And that'll do it. Ryan White goes down swinging. Final score here at Cypress College. Orange Coast Pirates 7, Cypress Chargers 3.
So you look at the end of this game, Cypress drops in the rankings, Fullerton drops in the rankings, Santa Ana moves up, and we'll see what happens as this season slowly comes to the end. For Orange Coast College, 7 runs, 8 hit, 1 error. For Cypress, 3 runs, 9 hits, and 5 big errors. For the voice, Albert Robles. For the man, Ed Ford. And for us on Social Security, I'm Mark Pavlovich. You've been watching Cypress College Baseball on Sportsnet USA.net.